नमस्ते गुरुजी। जय गुरुजी महाराज। जय गुरुजी साथ संगत जी। शुक्राना। गुरुजी महाराज द मल्टीलिंगुअल सेवादार टीम अब सबका स्वागत करती है। आज एक बार फिर गुरु महाराज जी की असीम कृपा से डिवाइन बुक गुरुजी लाइफ एंड स्पिरिचुअलिज्म का 5वां सेशन होगा। आज का सेशन आशा मेहरा आंटी जी इनिशिएट करेंगी। ओवर टू यू आशा मेहरा आंटी जी। जय गुरुजी।
जय गुरु जी अंकल, जय गुरु जी महाराज मेरे मालिक, जय गुरु जी। बहुत बहुत शुक्राना आपका। आपने ऐसी सेवा दी है कि हम अपना भी भांडा साफ करें और जो सुन रहे हैं उनका भी थोड़ा थोड़ा भांडा साफ होगा। जय गुरु जी राहुल अंकल एंड निकी आंटी एंड रवि राय अंकल एंड ऑल द प्यारी संगत जो इस प्रोग्राम सुन रही है, जो हमारे साथ बैठी है।
आशा आंटी वीडियो खोल लीजिए प्लीज।
ओके जी। कैन यू सी मी नाउ? जय गुरु जी अंकल, इज इट ओके?
You are audible, aunty. You are visible.
ओके, थैंक यू। सो टुडे इट इज माय प्लेजेंट ड्यूटी, मेरा बहुत बहुत सौभाग्य है कि मैं ये थोड़ी सी सेवा कर पा रही हूँ, बिकॉज मैं देख रही हूँ कि मेरी उम्र बीत जा रही है दिन पर दिन, और कब तक ये सेवा हो पाएगी जब तक मैं इसका पूरा लाभ उठा लूँ। तो आज मैं बड़ी बड़ी महान हस्तियों को इंट्रोड्यूस कराऊंगी, जो मेरा बहुत बहुत सौभाग्य है। राहुल अंकल, मैं आपको इंट्रोड्यूस करना चाहती हूँ। आपके फिजिकल टाइम में जब गुरुजी थे, चोले में थे, तो हम मिल नहीं पाए, लेकिन आज मैं आपकी किताब देख रही हूँ और मुझे बड़ा अच्छा लग रहा है कि आपने बहुत सुंदर किताब लिखी है। For the benefit of the other people who don't know like me, Rahul uncle is an IAS officer who was retired recently, and he is member of the Central Administrative Tribunal. ये ट्राइब्यूनल है जो कि गवर्नमेंट ऑफिसर्स की, ऑफिशियल्स की ग्रीवेंसेस होती है, उनको देखते हैं। सो इट इज नॉट फॉर द ओपन पब्लिक, लेकिन फॉर द ऑफिसर्स एंड ऑफिशियल्स ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट। सो अभी भी आफ्टर रिटायरमेंट ही हैज टेकन ओवर दिस वर्क and he's doing a fine job. I'm sure that is actually he will be putting in practice जो गुरुजी सिखाते हैं, जो गुरुजी ने सिखाया है हमें। राहुल अंकल उड़ीसा के बॉर्न है। ही स्टडीड इन रविंद्र कॉलेज एंड कटक में, और उसके बाद वो दिल्ली आ गए, तो दिल्ली स्कूल ऑफ इकोनॉमिक्स से आगे पढ़ाई की, और फिर दिल्ली स्कूल ऑफ पब्लिक पॉलिसी। तो इनकी पढ़ाई जारी रही, और साथ में ही ये श्री राम कॉलेज ऑफ कॉमर्स में लेक्चरर भी रहे। तो योगदान इनका काफी रहा, पढ़ाई भी चलती रही, और जब ये इन्होंने सिलेक्ट हो गए, तो ये अपने काम में भी जो इन्होंने पढ़ा उसको इम्प्लीमेंट करते रहे, और आगे इन्होंने पढ़ाई में वहां तक नहीं छोड़ा। MBA इन्होंने बर्मिंघम से करी है। सो व्हाट आई वाज सेइंग उसके ऑफिस के काम में भी, चाहे सेंटर में रहे, IAS ऑफिसर सेंटर में भी और स्टेट्स में भी रहते हैं। तो जब सेंटर और स्टेट्स दोनों में रहे, तो इन्होंने इतना अच्छा बढ़िया काम किया कि इनको प्राइम मिनिस्टर का अवार्ड मिला, प्राइम मिनिस्टर अवार्ड फॉर एक्सेलिंग इन फंक्शनल रिफॉर्म्स। 2012 और 13 में इनको ये अवार्ड मिला। तो ये अपने काम में भी वो जो सीखा था, जो पढ़ा था, जो इनको रिसर्च करी हुई थी, वो अपने काम में भी यूज करते थे। इन्होंने काफी पेपर्स भी लिखे हुए हैं। सो अपार्ट फ्रॉम बीइंग एन एकेडमिक पर्सन, he also put in practice जो ये अपना देश के लिए कर पा रहे थे। 35 साल की इन्होंने गवर्नमेंट सर्विस करी है, बोथ स्टेट्स एंड सेंटर, एंड एज फार एज पॉसिबल इकोनॉमिक मैनेजमेंट इन पब्लिक लाइफ एंड वेलफेयर के लिए यूटिलाइज करते रहे। आज भी काम कर रहे हैं, एज आई मेंशन्ड अर्लियर, कैट सेंट्रल एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव ट्राइब्यूनल में ये मेंबर है प्रिंसिपल बेंच में दिल्ली में, और इन्होंने उड़ीसा यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ एग्रीकल्चर टेक्नोलॉजी में भी जाते हैं, सीनियर विजिटिंग फेलो है इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ में भी, एंड विजिटिंग प्रोफेसर ऑफ एमिटी यूनिवर्सिटी ऑल्सो। सो ये नहीं कि रिटायर होके बैठ गए हैं, रिटायर होके भी उतना ही काम कर रहे हैं, शायद ज्यादा काम कर रहे हैं, और जो इन्होंने अनुभव किया है, जो इन्होंने पढ़ा है, उसका पूरा लाभ शेयर कर रहे हैं। ये बहुत बड़ी बात है। और गुरुजी को मिलने के बाद इन्होंने क्या क्या सीखा, क्या क्या अपनाया, वो इन अ वे ही इज शेयरिंग ऑल दैट। गुरुजी ऑल्सो वांटेड कि आप जो भी खाओ, जो पियो, जो पाओ, शेयर करो, शेयर इट विद अदर्स एज वेल एज पॉसिबल। किसी का नुकसान ना करो, किसी का बुरा ना सोचो, ना बुरा करो, लेकिन अच्छा करो। तो ये राहुल अंकल अच्छा कर रहे हैं। जो इनकी नॉलेज है, जो इनका अनुभव है, वो शेयर कर रहे हैं विद यंगस्टर्स, वो आई एम श्योर आर बेनिफिटिंग अ लॉट फ्रॉम इट। इन्होंने किताबें भी लिखी हैं, कई आर्टिकल्स भी लिखी हैं, और सॉरी, इट वाज इन द कोर्स ऑफ, ये किताब जो लिखी थी, इन्होंने ये किताब गुरुजी को प्रेजेंट करी, और गुरुजी ने कहा अच्छा लिखी है तो एक किताब पे भी लिख दो। तो दैट इज हाउ that became an inspiration for him to write the book that we are now going to read. So ये जो इन्होंने लिखी है किताब, it is a ग्रंथ, it is not for light reading. इन्होंने बहुत बहुत सिस्टमेटिकली किया है। पहले बताया कि गुरुजी ने क्या क्या, वी कैन कॉल देम चमत्कार, लेकिन उन्होंने क्या लोगों को ब्लेस किया, कितने लोगों को हील किया, कितने लोगों को फाइनेंशियल प्रॉब्लम से किया, कितने लोगों को मेंटली अच्छा किया। तो ये सब एग्जाम्पल देने से हमें पता लगा कि गुरुजी अंतर्यामी हैं। गुरुजी इज नॉट एन ऑर्डिनरी person, not even as important soul, but it's much higher than that. तो पहले उन्होंने वो बताया है, फिर उन्होंने धीरे धीरे करके बताया है what are the good things we have to learn from that. That is very very important. कि हम किताब पढ़ के एज ए नॉवल पढ़ के छोड़ ना दें, लेकिन उसको देखें, सीखें गुरुजी क्या सिखा के गए हैं, क्या क्या सिखाते हैं, क्या वो चाहते हैं हमसे, और क्या हम करें। तो ये किताब बहुत बहुत यूजफुल है। एज वी रीड अलोंग वील रियलाइज कि गुरुजी के क्या कहना था, और अंकल ने किस तरीके से, कितने सुंदर तरीके से उसको किताब में पेश किया है। The next person that I'm going to introduce is Nikki, Nikki aunty. Nikki aunty is almost grown up with Guruji. निकी आंटी का एग्जाम्पल ये है कि हम कभी कहते हैं, गुरुजी कहते थे, सुख में भी शुक्राना करो और दुख में भी शुक्राना करो। निकी आंटी इज एन एग्जाम्पल ऑफ दैट। इतनी उसको तकलीफ हुई, शी हैड सच अ बैड एक्सीडेंट, इतनी तकलीफ हुई, आई कैन नॉट विजुअलाइज उसकी मम्मी पापा ने कितना दुख सहा होगा, इसने खुद कितना दुख तकलीफ पाई, सच अ बैड एक्सीडेंट, और इतनी लंबी उसकी ट्रीटमेंट रही, बट शी गॉट आउट, गुरुजी की कृपा रही, शी गॉट आउट वेरी नाइसली। और आज एग्जाम्पल है कि उसका शुक्राना कर रही हैं कि शी ग्रू अप, स्कूल भी जाती थी तो स्कूल वापस आती थी तो गुरुजी के पास ही आते थे, देवर इन जलंधर। और उसने उस दौरान गुरुजी ने उसको स्कूल से आते पढ़ाया लिखाया, खेल भी किया, मस्ती करवाई, लेकिन उसमें इतना उसको सिखा दिया कि नाउ शी इज ऑलमोस्ट अ टीचर टू ऑल ऑफ अस। सो इतनी तकलीफ पाई, उसका शुक्राना, उसकी वजह से शी इज व्हाट शी इज टुडे। शी इज नाउ कॉल्ड डॉक्टर अंकिता। निकी हम उसको छोटेपन से बुलाते थे, गुरुजी भी बुलाते थे, शी हर रियल नेम इज डॉक्टर अंकिता। और शी इज अ फिजियोथेरेपिस्ट, प्रोफेशनल फिजियोथेरेपी ऑफ स्पोर्ट्स एंड ऑर्थोपेडिक स्पेशलाइज करी है। फिजियोथेरेपी कई तरह की होती है, कई बीमारियों के लिए, कई डिसेबिलिटीज के लिए, बट शी हैज स्पेशलाइज्ड इन स्पोर्ट्स एंड स्पोर्ट्स एंड ऑर्थो फिजियोथेरेपी। और ऑल्सो गोल्फ इंजरीज में भी, आजकल गोल्फ काफी खेली जाती है, तो गोल्फ इंजरीज के लिए भी फिजियोथेरेपी बहुत जरूरी होती है। एंड क्रिकेट में, गोल्फ में, टेनिस में, इन ऑल दीज थिंग्स physiotherapy is very very useful. So she has specialized in that. She is also a wellness coach, और मेंटल हेल्थ भी प्रमोट करती है. शी हैज गॉन थ्रू सो मच सफरिंग इन हर यंगर डेज कि नाउ शी हैज कम आउट सो ब्राइट. इतना सबके लिए एग्जाम्पल है और सबको सिखा रही है. शी इज शेयरिंग हर नॉलेज एंड हर एक्सपीरियंसेस एंड शी इज ऑल्सो ए specialist at Ultimate Golf. She is also director FSSA Sports Council. So she's updating herself. She's in touch with the youngsters. उनको promote कर रहे हैं. उनकी उनकी knowledge बढ़ा रही है. She's doing everything that Guruji would have wanted her to do. Next आज ये पढ़ेगी हमारे लिए. तो we will know her better. Ravi Rai uncle also met Guruji when he was very young. He was only a master mariner, professional master mariner in merchant navy, and they were so lucky कि इतने यंग एज में गुरुजी की कृपा हुई इन पे. एंड आज ये जब गुरुजी ने समाधि ली तो ही इज कैप्टन नाउ. एंड इतने साल इन्होंने सेल किया है. 39 years he has been sailing with different companies, and it is not easy to be a sailor. कितने कितने महीनों आप घर से दूर रहते हो, बाहर रहते हो. तो आई एम श्योर उस दौरान रवि अंकल यू वुड हैव फेल्ट वेरी हैप्पी बीइंग इन द शरण ऑफ गुरुजी, नोइंग फुल वेल कि आप भी सुखी रहोगे, आप भी अपना काम विदाउट रिस्क कर रहे हो, और फैमिली आपसे बहुत बहुत दूर है लेकिन फैमिली भी सुखी है, खुश है, और बिना तकलीफ है कि गुरुजी उनकी ब्लेस कर रहे हैं, गुरुजी उनकी देख रेख कर रहे हैं. एंड गुरुजी इज विद देम ऑल द टाइम एंड गुरुजी इज विद यू ऑल द टाइम. सो रवि राय uncle also has been a very very lucky devotee of Guruji, and I think all three of them have done wonderful work और आज सेवा में हैं लगे. It will be nice to hear them speak, and उसके बाद we will be able to understand better the contents of the book and the beauty of the reader, the interventionist, and the entire संगत जो सुन रही है ये किताब जब पढ़ेंगे तो. I think with that I invite the reader, Nikki auntie, Vasan uncle.
Yeah, auntie.
Will we invite Nikki auntie to start reading?
Yes. She is the reader.
Nikki auntie,
जय
are you there?
हाँ जी
जय गुरुजी आंटी. जय गुरुजी. मैं ऑल आंटी, छोटी छोटी आंटी हमारी
हाँ जी.
इतने इतने काम कर रही है.
नहीं आंटी. जय गुरुजी राहुल अंकल, जय गुरुजी रवि अंकल, एंड वासन अंकल, एवरीवन. जय गुरुजी संगत जी. I always feel that we can do justice, to talking about Guruji. And it is every time it is overwhelming and it feels like a very, very huge responsibility which you want to carry forward in the most truest and the most purest form, where the entire focus and the entire intention of everything is to talk about Guruji and his greatness and his mahima through the eyes of people who have gotten the opportunity to be with him, to listen to him firsthand, and to be able to have lived a life where he was there in front of us. Because down the ages, jaise generations come forward, I think this is what the generations ahead are going to rely on. And that is why this brilliant book by Raul uncle, I think once it is passed forward to the future generations, this book has done such a supreme it's such a supreme effort to put together everything about right from, of course, Guruji's miracles, his power, his blessings on endless number of people, and at the same time to tell us about, how Guruji's journey has been when he was in the physical form on this earth. And I think this book is it completely puts together everything that we can think about, or we can put our mind to about Guruji. And today, this section that we are going to be talking about is primarily on the facts and the facts about Guruji's stay, where all Guruji stayed, when did he stay, how was the setup like, and how was the setting like. So today it's more on the fact that how Guruji's journey has been in terms of, specifically in terms of Delhi. And we are just going to be talking about, and we'll try and relive all those moments by just, I think, visualizing how that entire stay of Guruji was when he was in New Delhi. And towards the end, few incidents from all these phases that were, primarily focused on his being in Empire State, Baramandir, and then finally Guruji is taking Maha Samadhi. So I just hope I can I can give due credit to the way Uncle has written down, and the way Uncle has taken pains to get down into so much of detailing, and has gotten everything down for us and for the generations ahead, and for people to look back at this Granth and understand how Guruji was and what Guruji's journey was when he was in the physical form in front of us. So Jai Guruji, and we will begin with that. We are now talking and starting with the year 1998 onward, where Guruji had basically come to New Delhi. This was in the year 1998, and in the end October 1997, basically, Guruji shifted from Sector 33 Chandigarh to Empire State Sultanpur. But from end October 1997 to March 1998, Guruji was not meeting Sangat, and he was on his own, by his own, over here in Empire State, which is Aunty Sudha's house. And only by March 1998, some Sangat was allowed, that also at the first floor of that duplex bungalow. There was very limited Sangat, and the Sangat would usually sit very casually on the carpet, and Guruji would sit on the sofa above on the first floor. And the Sangat was allowed 4 days a week, which was basically Thursday to Sunday, 6:30 p.m. the Sangat would start. And a lot of people at that time, though there were very few, but names that probably we are aware of, starting with Dr. S.C. Sharma, Roma Aunty, Brigadier Saini, Colonel Joshi, Babbar Uncle, and so many more were the ones who would frequent Guruji at that time. And however, when it was opened finally for the, and of course, Rahul Uncle as well, finally, when it was opened for the Sangat, the entire living room was, revamped to accommodate the Sangat. And that is why the ground floor was used. And Guruji के लिए एक single seater sofa वो तैयार किया गया, जिसमें carvings थी, जहाँ पे Guruji used to sit. And he used to come in his magnificent, beautiful cholas, which were usually made out of silk. And, the Sangat would get chai prasad as they would, sit around Guruji, and he would sit in front on that, on his asan. And it was such a majestic ambience. I mean, when I think about all those days, it was absolutely divine. The aura of divinity was that it was radiating throughout. And we have time and again seen how Sangat has described the aura as being purely divine, and how they got attracted, and how sometimes even without understanding the level of Guruji's Mahima, the pull was so much and the aura was so powerful, it was so divine, that usually became the anchor for coming back again and again to, to Empire Estate and to be with Guruji. So the energy, the vibrations, the aura was absolutely beyond, cannot be described. And that was the, like I said, the driving force for lots of people to come. And those are the times when Guruji would sometimes, use this word, that a lot of people used to come to try out, to, to see whether whatever they wanted, would they get with Guruji, or they would just come for a couple of days and probably not return if they felt that their dreams were not being answered. So Guruji had this statement that he would use a lot, which was, "Let us try again." And he said this to a lot of Sangat. Sometimes he would jokingly say it, and sometimes he would just make it very light. Sometimes he would be serious about it. But this word and this statement was coined out from this era that Guruji started in New Delhi. The vibrations were so strong that, they actually made you feel that you were probably sitting, on Mount Kailash with actually the divine presence of Lord Shiv in front. But by this time, when Guruji had now started seeing the Sangat in the lower hall, and a lot of area was created for people to come, there were lots of politicians of various hues and parties, higher and lower bureaucracy, higher and lower judiciary, industrialists, journalists, intellectuals, lot of high-end senior police officers, civil servants, defense personnel, actors, singers, who had started coming in large numbers, to Guruji. And like I said, like I said, or we know that Guruji was trying to reach out to people of all walks of life, and he knew what timing he had to bless which sector, what timing he had to bless a certain set of people. That was all his planning. Everything was happening with his thoughts, with his planning. So we have seen people like, prime ministers coming in, like Mr. Devagowda, Mr. Vajpayee, Mr. VP Singh, Mr. Modi, the then Chief Minister of Gujarat, whom personally even Raul uncle has seen, people like Mr. Manmohan, politicians like Mrs. Menaka Gandhi, Mr. Varun Gandhi, Mr. Arun Shuri, top industrialists like Mr. K.K. Birla, family of Ronak Singh, senior civil servants, Mr. K.K. Paul, Mr. Gogya, Mr. Pankaj Singh, higher judiciary people like Justice Verma, Justice Khichi, several high-end people belonging to central services and Indian foreign services like Mr. M.S. Badan, Mr. Narang, Mrs. Omita Paul, Mr. Prem Singh, defense personals like Lieutenant General Mohan Singh, Lieutenant General Verma, General Deepak Malhotra, General Gerewal, Brigadier Saini, Colonel Joshi, sports personalities like Mr. Jadeja, Mr. Navjot Singh Sidhu, a lot of journalists, a lot of actors, and a lot of singers who had started coming in, and Guruji's name had started spreading like wildfire all through Delhi, and of course all through the world. And this was the plan that obviously Guruji had. And it was amazing how this small little hall could accommodate so many people. And this is how you realize today that he was the supreme manager, and how he managed it, whether it was with whatever rules he came up with, or whatever intricacies he looked into. But huge populations of people were getting blessed, were getting the opportunity to meet him, to take his blessings, to get that little connect with him, to get their personal time with him. And he did this beautifully. And this is what God is, because God manages so much He manages the entire universe so flawlessly and so, in such a smooth way. And all this was getting evident slowly because the numbers were increasing, people were increasing. And as Guruji used to say in Jalandhar, कि आगे आगे line बढ़ेगी और लाइना विच खड़े होना पड़ेगा दर्शन के लिए, which was becoming very, very evident as time went by, specifically in New Delhi. Sudha Auntie's house, of course, was from where Guruji was in Empire Estate. A lot of the neighbors of in Empire Estate also started following, whether it was MEHRA's, whether it was Miss Roma, Mr. Vinny, all of them started becoming ardent followers of Guruji. At this time, when he was in Delhi, there were a lot of functions that Guruji had started attending, a lot of satsangs, a lot of social functions where he would go to bless. And usually, Guruji would take his convoy of about 10 to 15 vehicles. And Raul uncle himself has written that he had the opportunity of attending a lot of satsangs in residences of Mr. Pranab Mukherjee, Mr. Pankaj Singh, Mr. L.K. Advani, Justice Verma, Lieutenant General Mohan Singh, Mr. Suman, Indian Railway Account Service, who was Indian Railways Account Service. So he has personally been there. He's seen all these, major gatherings where Guruji is gone and probably blessed at a much, at a very, very big level. Because when you bless people at this level, at this caliber, they are the ones who go and do good for all the people down the line. So these were, I think Guruji had started off on this whole journey of just reaching out as much as he could and to just get people drawn towards him, which was what was happening in Delhi as the crowds and the number of people kept increasing. But at the same time, Guruji always made sure, or always had his light moments and always made sure that Sangat also had a good time and they got to see the lighter side of life. And I think that is also one aspect that we realize even today, when through so many ways, through his teachings, through his, just how he made us live that life with him when he was there in the physical form, make us realize and always remember and understand that life needs to be enjoyed. And at the same time, you need to be grounded. And at the same time, you need to be doing the right thing always. So many times Guruji would take a lot of Sangat to these 5-star hotels, like, specifically like Sheraton in Saket, Bristol in Gurugram, the Claridges, Janpat Hotel, the Ambassador Hotel, ITC Maurya, Taj Mahal Hotel, and so many more, where these were the, the fun times or the fun moments, where Guruji himself would just order probably a soup or chai for himself, and the rest of the Sangat would order chai and, some pakoras, and it would be just a relaxed time with Guruji. And these used to just happen on the spot. And there were some beautiful outings like these, which we all, I think, enjoyed who had the opportunity to be with him at this time. One specific person became a very ardent follower of Guruji, who was Sri Deepak Haksar of ITC. And I think that's what we kept seeing, how Guruji was reaching out to people of all sectors of life. And he was trying to just, touch every base of the world, where I think I always felt that when he would reach out to one person, the person would go ahead and talk to 10 more people. And that is how Guruji's Mahima kept increasing. And on the other days, on some days, of course, there would be days like this when he would go out to these and take the Sangat, not go out, he would take the Sangat to these hotels. On other days, he would go for a walk when most of the Sangat would leave. And people like Mrs. Menaka Gandhi, Mr. Pankaj Singh, Ms. Roma, Sudha Aunty, Colonel Joshi, and of course, Raul uncle had the privilege of accompanying Guruji on such walks. And we all, I think, remember that we used to talk about how whatever the weather and season, whether it was muddy, whether it was raining, or whatever it was, Guruji's sneakers and shoes would be absolutely spick and span and absolutely clean. And these are the times when, everything was teaching us and everything was telling us that um, he was the incarnation of Lord Shiv. And obviously, this meant that Guruji was actually not walking on the ground. He was either, he was just floating in, above the ground. And he would joke also about it. Many times I remember he would joke about it. So these instances and these moments always made us realize, and he kind of probably reminded us that who he was, because being in that form in front of us, it's a natural thing to suddenly take it for granted. But yeah, everything reminded us all the time that we had the Lord, the God sitting in front of us. And so this is how this whole era, I would say, this era of Empire Estate started. During this time, Guruji went to the Ramgarh Heights, which were owned by the Sharmas of Punjabi Bagh. And this Ramgarh Heights was a small habitation on the Nainital Mukteshwar Road. And with Guruji's blessings, the Sharmas had developed the property as a tourist resort, and they had called it the Himalaya Heights. And it had a beautiful view. This property had a beautiful view, picturesque view, spectacular view of orchards, of peaches, plum, apricots, apples. And Guruji had taken Sangat and gone to this property to bless it. And on the way also, there was ashram of the famous Neem Karoli Baba, who we know has also performed many, many miracles throughout his life. So Guruji had gone here with a lot of devotees, 15 odd devotees, and he stayed there for almost a week. And there is a very famous satsang of this place, of Ramgarh place, which I will quote directly from the book as Uncle has written. A Muslim named Nasir came all the way from Nainital to have darshan of Guruji at the resort. When Nasir was paying his respects, Guruji surprised him by stating that he had 3 wives, with none able to bear a child, and he had come to see Guruji's blessings for a child. Nasir could not believe his ears. Guruji knew his details by reading his mind. On the next visit to Empire Estate, Nasir was alone. When Guruji inquired about his wife, he mentioned her sudden illness from a headache and stomach pain. Guruji told him that his wife was faking the ailment and that she had conceived. Nasir had not heard from his wife whether she had missed her period. He went back half in doubt and got the pregnancy test done the next day. The couple was blessed with a son after 15 years of marriage and confirmed infertility by the medical fraternity. So this is this is a very famous satsang which of that place, and at that time when Guruji was there in Nainital at this resort, and it's beautifully penned down here. And again, it goes to show that every corner that Guruji went, he was just blessing people all over and just leaving his, I would just say his essence in every corner of the world. And we see it now because this whole essence of Guruji's is blowing, and it's blowing, it's blooming, it's blowing, and it's just expanding everywhere. From here, Guruji had also gone to Haridwar and Rishikesh, where a senior IPS officer had, and the sister had invited Guruji. He had stayed there for about 3 days. And Guruji had also taken regular baths in the river at the VIP Ghat. So Guruji has been to places, and he's been in areas and which probably the Sangat would not know about. But yeah, that has been Guruji's journey, going to all these places. We now come to talk about Guruji's Baramandir. And we know it lies near the Bhatti village, which is close to the northwest edge of the Asola Bhatti Wildlife Sanctuary. And it is the Baramandir was built under Guruji's constant supervision. He took interest in the minutest of details during the construction. Raghuveer uncle of Jalandhar was in charge of the construction. Mr. Bharadwaj was in charge of the architectural aspects. And there were lots of other people who were assisting and facilitating the Sangat. After the construction was complete, Guruji was asked one day that why did he not shift to the Badai Mandir and, hold the Sangat there? And Guruji's reply was this, that the Mandir was for the Sangat and not for Mahapurush. In his words, a Mahapurush has no fixed place of residence or attachment for a particular place. It is only for large gatherings that Guruji used to hold the Sangat at Bade Mandir. And that is the reason why Guruji never stayed in Bada Mandir. But the Bada Mandir was constructed and was supervised, and Guruji was involved in every brick laying, in every plant laying, in every nook and corner of the entire Bada Mandir. And this is, I think, what he left back for all of us. And Guruji would go to the Bada Mandir and, he would very proudly show all the areas, whether it was the rooms, the parking area, the langar, the kitchens. And when it was getting constructed, he would hardly sit on the asan which had been made for him. He would mostly sit down on the carpet. And he would usually come to the Bada Mandir in his informal trousers and shirts, or, in his walking gear. And he only wore the cholas when during the big functions. And when he would go informally like this, there would be very few Sangat that would go with him. And he would discuss all the affairs of the mandir with, the Mali there, Ram Avatar, and give him instructions. He blessed the Mali there as well by blessing his wife to have a baby girl. And he looked after their entire welfare. He looked after their kith and kin in their ancestral villages. So Guruji took care, and he, kind of took care of their entire life, and they served Guruji, and they were there. They're still there at the Bada Mandir, taking care of everything. And when Guruji would come to this to Bada Mandir informally, he would usually sit on a charpai, and which had and there would be an umbrella there, which was from Pipili near Puri, Odisha, which would protect, which would give him shade from the sun. And he would just sit informally out in the charpai. And again, just admiring. I think Guruji would sit there and would just himself admire in the Bada Mandir, because he was seeing to each and every aspect of it. He was the architect in chief. He was imbibing the essence of divinity in each and every aspect of the temple's architecture, landscaping, and structure. Each plant, each blade of grass, and each stone was blessed by Guruji under his temporal and divine supervision. There are stories and stories about how Guruji provided the divine touch. Even write-ups from Bambi Aunty have spoken about this. The fountain above the kutia was designed to flow like the Ganga from the matted hair of Lord Shiva. And this was Guruji's own idea. And the kutia there, he used to tell the Sangha that that was for his meditation, but one would wonder that which was during which birth, because Guruji was all the time between us at that time. And he would, Sunny, the late son of General Mohan Singh, and Mami used to spend a lot of time at Bada Mandir. And Guruji, under Guruji's guidance, each room had Guruji's essence in it. Guruji, the divine guide, would show each room and describe the purpose of each room. The first room on the left, when you enter from the hall, is supposed to be the resting place where Guruji would visit the mandir, but he had hardly used it for a few occasions. He preferred the hall or the lawns to relax whenever he visited the mandir. Of course, during the annual functions like Shivratri, Baisakhi, New Year's Eve, Guru Purnima, Diwali, his birthday on 7 July, he would be in his chola and sitting on the designated asan to bless the Sangat. The driveway was another area that Guruji really loved. It had an entrance to the living room, as Guruji used to describe it. He would describe how the stationary car would rotate 360 degrees so that you would not need to reverse the vehicle. And he took a lot of pride in, each and every aspect of the Baramandir. And like I said, Guruji, held all the special functions here on a huge scale, and lots of thousands of Sangat would land up here for his darshan, blessings on such auspicious days. The mandir would be decorated in majestic manner with lights, flowers, colored clothes, and there would be, special caterers who would come and organize the langar. Mostly from Sardar Harjinder Singh from Punjab would prepare the langar, and it would be served in the disposable place. Guruji himself would distribute bear, mangoes, dry fruits as prasad. We had a lot of famous singers coming in, all his devotees like Gurdas Man, Sukhi Brar, Hans Raj, Dolly Galeria, and others who would be called to perform. A special pandal would be erected on the vacant plot adjacent to the mandir. Guruji would come out of the mandir hall and listen to the devotional Sufi and folk songs, which were sung by these famous singers. The mandir at this time would have its aesthetic and spiritual significance, and it would be overflowing with lots and lots of blessings and with a lot of I would say with a lot of divineness, and everyone would try and come there specifically on these special days. The mandir has a lot of spiritual significance on its own, and from a distance you can view. Those who still haven't gotten the opportunity to see it, or those who have seen it, can now probably visualize how there is such a beautiful view of the majestic Shiva Linga projecting to the sky. And this entrance of the mandir hall with its arches symbolizes the open arm of the Lord welcoming the devotees. How beautifully Raul uncle has kind of, made us all remember and realize the importance of each and every aspect of the Baramandir, that nothing was by chance and everything had meaning. So the entrance of the Mandir hall with its arches symbolizes the open arm of the Lord. The surrounding landscaping provides a soothing and serene calmness matching the divinity. And, we would sit in the lawns, close our eyes, and contemplate on the Lord whenever we visited Baramandir during the non-function days. It was a beautiful ambience to connect to Guruji, to the Supreme God, to the Supreme Self. And it is no wonder Guruji used to say to a lot of Sangat that he had put the divine energy of 12 Jyotirlingas here in Bada Mandir. And that is why he left us with this place which is the holiest place on this earth to bless all of us. And such is this beautiful, serene and calm place where the moment you enter, you automatically bow down to the Lord and you connect with him and you feel his presence. And this was, I think, it's a huge thing for us, because just imagine today, we don't need to go anywhere. We don't need to run here and there in search of finding ways to connect with Guruji. He's left us this supreme place on this earth where we can get our answers. More than getting answers, we can just connect with him, with the Lord, and thereby everything becomes much, much more simpler in our life. And there are no words for this, and there are no words for describing how this Baramandir is so close to our heart, and it is will always be. From here, we move on to a very, I would say, a sensitive area or sensitive part of our life. But we all know, especially all of us who have been with Guruji and who've had the opportunity to be with him in this physical form with him, we know that it was for the greater cause. It was for a much greater cause that this part of life happened, or this particular phase of life came in. The Maha Samadhi phase. Guruji took Maha Samadhi, as we say, or he left his chola on 31st May 2007. It was unbelievable to the Sangat. It was unbelievable to all of us. And it had a huge emotional turmoil on a lot of us. And we felt the void a lot, because I think just seeing Guruji in that form in front had become very, that had just become our way of life. So when Guruji left this form, that void was there. There was a feeling of loss of everything. And we just could not come to terms with the fact that Guruji was not there in that form anywhere. But the fact is, enlightened masters like Guruji, Guruji, our God, know when they have to leave the world. And Guruji used to say, "Asi to light to aaye hain, light nu chale jayenge. Sada maksad tanu Rab de naal jodna tha." Which meant I have come from light, the supreme divine, and will go back to the light. My light, my purpose is to connect the Sangat to the Lord, which Guruji did. He connected us to him. He connected us to him in a big, huge way. And we feel his presence so much more even today. Of course, there were a lot of reasons for Guruji leaving the physical form in terms of I would just say for practically giving it names. Guruji, yes, he had a heart attack, and that was the reason. Guruji had sent Raul uncle to Dugri, and how Guruji plans everything is just amazing. Guruji had sent Raul uncle to Dugri on 30th May, and he was following up some matters related to construction of the hospital at Dugri in memory of Mata Surjit Kaur. And Guruji had to follow, Raul uncle, had to follow up on this matter with the Department of Health and Family Welfare. And Vicky Chopra uncle was with Raul uncle. And they had a couple of meetings there. And after finishing the day's work, they proceeded to stay with Guruji's family as Guruji had directed. And they reached Dugri late in the evening. And we know that Guruji used to follow up on all the tasks that Guruji used to give. And he would take stock of the meeting. He would take a minute-to-minute report regarding whatever task he had given. But on 30th May, Guruji did not call a single time Raul uncle. He did not call up Raul uncle a single time to know the progress. And it definitely felt very strange to him. However, they had enjoyed the hospitality at Gaurav uncle's mother's house in the company of Bapuji and Gaurav's father. And after retiring to bed, Raul uncle thought to call up Guruji, and he rang up, and he came to know that Guruji was not feeling very well, and Guruji was sounding very low, but and his warm, sweet, deep voice was missing, and he just said "Fir milenge" to Raul uncle. And Raul uncle could not understand what that meant. And he felt that Guruji was not feeling very well. It is a very, I would just say it's very overwhelming for all of us. It's overwhelming for me too today as I talk about and remember this phase, but it is what it is. And so Guruji said "Fir milenge" to Raul uncle. And he retired to bed. However, around 11:30 at night, he got a call. Rahul uncle got a call from Sudha aunty, and he came to know that Guruji wasn't well, and he had been rushed to All India Institute, and he was being taken to the emergency room. And Rahul uncle decided to immediately return back to Delhi. Usually there was never any step that has been taken without taking permission from Guruji. If Guruji had sent us somewhere, this is also one huge example right in front of you, where Rahul uncle also wanted to take permission, but that time he knew that he just had to rush back to Delhi and the circumstances were not normal. So he rushed back and he left Dugri around 12:15 in the night. And during the way back, Vicky was driving, who went off to sleep, who was going off to sleep intermittently. And Rahul uncle, not having the practice of driving long distances, he had to take the drive, and he drove from the entire distance from Khanna to Delhi. And he reached Delhi around 5 o'clock in the morning. And when he reached, he was told that Guruji had left this world and he had left his physical form. And needless to say, everyone was completely devastated. And Rahul uncle told his family members to come, and they all came. And everybody was praying the previous night as well. But it was what it was. And by this time, by 6:30 a.m., the next day, 31st July, 31st May, sorry, it had started spreading like wildfire, I think, to the entire Sangat. And All India Institute was full of Guruji's devotees, and even the doctors are finding it very difficult to manage. But somehow everything was brought under control. And yes, Brigadier Saini, Rahul uncle, my father, they were all there at that time, and everybody wanted to, understand what had happened. Finally, decisions had to be taken on what had to be done ahead. So all arrangements were made to put his mortal body in the Baramandir for the last darshan by the Sangat. And a lot of precaution was taken so that the mortal body remained fresh for everyone to take his blessings. And there was absolute chaos, needless to say, on a lot of things, because it was very sudden, everything, right from the point of what had to be done, what had to be the next step, what had to be in terms of a lot of management, everything was pretty scattered and pretty chaotic. However, things were brought under control, and even it was finally decided that everything should be done in the Baramandir and the last rites should be held in Delhi. And Dr. S.C. Sharma, who along with his guru, who he used to call as Guru Dev, was returning that morning from a pilgrimage to Kailash Mansarovar. And he gave a beautiful response to, what had happened. He said, the soul had gone to the supreme soul. It is the lokachar which matters. If the Sangat describes on a particular manner of disposal of the mortal body, it is up to them. And that was, I think, very unanimous, or it helped in taking a decision as to what had to be done. So finally, with everybody's conformity and everybody's, consent, Guruji's body was cremated in the front lawns of Baramandir, where a samadhi was built to pay respect to, was made to pay respect to His ashes were kept in urns, and they were immersed in the Ganges at Haridwar. At that time, a lot of guarding of Guruji's body was done because of fear of tantrics and everything. So a lot of care was taken, and Guruji's mortal remains were cremated around 3:30 p.m. the next day. And after that, a lot of people rushed to Haridwar with the ashes to be immersed in Ganges. Of course, Raul uncle, Sudha aunty, my father, General Malhotra, Colonel Joshi, Babbu, Arvind, Ravi Rai uncle, Arjun Sabharwal, they were all accompanying. And after the immersion of ashes, Singla uncle, Gaurav and Babuji left Haridwar for an unknown destination, and everybody else returned to Delhi. And on the way back, since everybody had had a very difficult night and a very difficult morning, and it was they hadn't gotten the opportunity to rest or sleep comfortably. So when Arvind was driving the car, in which Arjun uncle was also present, it met with an accident, and Arjun escaped with a fracture on one leg, miraculously with Guruji's grace. However, he was rushed to the nearest hospital. He was attended to, and in the other car, Babbu, Raul uncle's nephew, was the one who was driving. He was also dozing off behind the wheel, and Raul uncle really had to, get him, had to really shout at him to take control of the vehicle. So such was the, I would just say, such was the atmosphere at that time, which Raul uncle has been very brave enough to, kind of write it down. And because it is beyond our capacity to explain what the situation was at that time. At the T junction on GT Road, when Raul uncle finally had to take over the wheel from Babu, he took the right turn and drove towards Pragati Maidan. And from nowhere, a three-wheeler rushed out from our right and slammed into their vehicle. And they stopped and inspected the vehicle. And by this time, the three-wheeler had sped away. The silencer and mudguard of the vehicle was damaged. It could not be driven. And finally, they had to ask for their official driver, who finally drove them home. However, all these incidents, if you look at, they all happened during this time, during this extremely difficult time, because honestly, I think everybody was in a state of shock, and it was very difficult to function in our normal capacity because we were just trying to make sense of what had happened. But with Guruji's blessings at every phase of our life at that time, today, and always, everybody escaped with minor, injuries, except for Arjun uncle, who took a couple of months to return back to normal. And Guruji used to say this line that I save my Sangat with minor problems when they are destined to suffer significantly, which has been evident even through these instances that were happening all the while, even when Guruji had left his physical form. And he just never stopped to show his presence. And I think this was his way of immediately showing that I'm there, and I'm there with you no matter what, in every situation of your life, which he kind of displayed it beautifully. So this is how Guruji's entire journey has been, right from Empire Estate to Baramandir to to finally taking Maha Samadhi, showing us that this entire journey had been planned by him, and he had done this planning, and we were all caught unaware, but we know that this is how he wished it, this is how he willed it, and this is how he had planned it. I have lots of small satsangs which I can share, but maybe later on during this time, as and when we see the further, as we proceed further. So I'll stop here and I will invite Ravi Rai uncle to please come and pick up the rest of the session.
Uncle, you are not audible.
You have to unmute yourself.
Please unmute yourself.
I think Vasan uncle, you will have to do it.
Uncle, we have given options to unmute. You may check your device, please.
मैं अनम्यूट हो गया. I pressed it and I got unmuted. You may try again. Ravi, you may try again.
Maybe you can log in, Ravi uncle, from another device. Maybe from your phone, it will be easier.
अंकल दूसरे फोन से आप ज्वाइन कर लो.
Maybe Anu aunty के phone से unmute कर लो. Anu aunty is logged in, no? Ravi uncle. So take her phone and unmute.
हसन अंकल, ये अनुराय के फोन को अनम्यूट करिए बिकॉज रवि इज ऑन अनुराय फोन.
Yeah, I'm there. I'm from my phone now. Yeah.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
उससे
Yeah,
आप log out कर लो क्योंकि your voice is echoing from the other device. Ravi uncle, log out from there.
Yeah, just give us some time, please.
Yeah.
अनु तू फोन बंद कर दे इधर कैमरा. I think now it is all done. Can you hear me?
That's all right.
Okay. जय गुरुजी. गुरुजी को प्रणाम and सब संगत को प्रणाम. Thanks, Nikki. Lovely reading and explanation. I will start with the author first, Raul. We have been in association with Raul since we came to Guruji, and we have developed a very close relationship. So we all know his academic and professional achievements. He, as a person, is actually living a simple life, and he is down to earth. So, and of course, Guruji had predicted that he will write a book on Guruji. Now, to write a book on Guruji is a task which a common man or a human cannot do it.
अंकल वॉल्यूम थोड़ा अप कर लो.
Volume मैं करता हूँ अब. I'm on the full volume. Am I audible now?
Yes, now you can increase your tone.
Okay. I'll increase my tone, my volume. Guruji, see, like to write about Guruji, I would say it is not possible with our human sensors which we have, as Rahul uncle mentions in his book. Because we are limited as a human with our sensing, जो अपने पांच हैं, and they have very limited range and capacity. Japji Saab में there is a line in that, I would repeat that. एवड़ ऊंचा होवे कोए तिस ऊंचे को जाने सोए. The person who is at that level, that height, can only know him. And Guru used to say, जिथे मैं बैठा हाँ तुसी मैनू कीड़े मकोड़े वांग नजर आंदे हो. Supreme Lord Mahashiv, we are at present in our human forms. So, and in that line, so the agge jari line आंदी, I will not, of course, मैं पढ़ूंगा नहीं, but it says कि if he wants, he blesses you to know how much he wants you to know. And like Rahul has also said in past sessions, that while he was writing the book, he was always feeling a divine hand behind his writing. So we are very happy that Guruji has blessed him and given him the vision to put into the book Guruji's, I won't say complete picture, because we can never know his complete picture, but it has helped a lot of Sangat to get Guruji out of from miracle Guruji to some complete whole, to see a bigger picture. And I'll just jump off to after Guruji's Maha Samadhi. One book came, Guruji had compiled Satsangs, Light of Divinity, that got published, and we were proofreading it. So when I read that book, though we were in Sangat for all these years, but we have not met everybody, and we were not aware of a lot of people's satsangs. So when in that book we read different satsangs, different angles were open to us. And that time I felt like there is a saying, 5 men and a blind, elephant and 5 blind men. They were told to describe the elephant. So one of them was touching his trunk. He described it as a rope. Other one, his ears, he said it was like a fan, flap. And someone touched his legs. There is a big trunk. And one person touched his tail. It's got a broom-like thing. They all were correct, but it was not complete. So to know about Guruji complete, in my understanding, we should not try. But at the same time, Rahul Chavi has done a fantastic job by trying to paint a whole picture so that a lot of Sangat comes out of Guruji. They see only him as miracle man. He sab theek kar dende. And rightly he has said also, treating any kind of illness for him was less than elementary. ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਹੀ ਸੈਟ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਲਾਈਟ ਤੋਂ ਆਇਆ ਲਾਈਟ ਜਾਣਾ ਮੈਂ ਰੱਬ ਨਾਲ ਜੋੜਨ ਆਇਆ ਰੱਬ ਨਾਲ ਮੀਨਸ ਆਪਣੇ ਨਾਲ ਜੋੜਨ ਆਇਆ So coming now, going back to Jalandhar Mandir. If once when you see in Jalandhar Mandir and Bade Mandir, Guru Nanak Dev Ji's photo is placed above Shiv Ji's photo or Murti as the different situations. And eventually, when we were in Empire State, I would say somewhere around 2005 or maybe 6, we all understood and knew Mahashiv is the supreme, which Guruji is. So I one day asked him, Guruji, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਦੀ ਫੋਟੋ ਤੇ ਲਾਈ ਹੈ ਔਰ ਸ਼ਿਵ ਜੀ ਥੱਲੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਤੇ ਹਿਸ ਆਨਸਰ ਵਾਸ ਇਹ ਸ਼ਿਵ ਜੀ ਦੀ ਨਮਰਤਾ ਹੈ So I'm not going into the meanings of it because we can't understand the meanings of that. But this aspect I had noticed and I pointed out, like, I had one-to-one talk with Guruji and I asked him this. When Guruji used to sit in his asana, in a chola, there was a different kind of aura about him. He was like majestic lord of the world. And when he would not be sitting on his asana and he would be in his casual dress, whether it is shirt, pant, kurta, pajama, or sport dress, one would feel he would actually make you feel he's like one of us. Like in book, Raul has written, Nitin Joshi has very beautifully put, if one can penetrate that packet. So when Guruji, like during Chavi's rouse when he was in Dugri, inquiring about Mataji Memorial Hospital and all that. So Guruji used to follow. It happened with all of us. There would be frequent calls. But then you see, he is Supreme Lord. He knows everything, what's happening everywhere. But he will act in such a way as a human that it makes you feel like he is one of you. That was his beauty. He came down to our level, mingled with us, opened our hearts, cleaned our karmas, and then showed us what is God and to be in his sharan and to follow Guruji. Talking about construction of Bade Mandir, Ravi uncle has shared this one-to-one with me. When this Bade Mandir was being constructed, and when they had come to the stage when they were building the Chhabilendra, they would build it and it would collapse. Because if you see in that hall is quite big and there is no supporting pillars. So they tried few times, it fell on every time. And Guruji was in Chandigarh those days. and he brought it to attention of Guruji. Guruji said, "हुन बनाओ, मैं अपनी शक्ति देती है, हुन नहीं डिगेगा." I think, but still they chose the lightest tiles that time were in slight gray color. They were not totally black. So the initial Chhabilendra was in grayish tone. They put the lightest tiles over there and they constructed the Chhabilendra and did not fall down. While doing the interior, a heavy chandelier was hung from that same place, which was not initially even taking the weight of normal bricks. So, of course, there is no doubt, every centimeter of Baramandir is Guruji's divine power. It's still there. So, during Guruji's Maha Samadhi, I was also very much there. Before we came on 29th of May, Tuesday, I was at my mom's place in Jalandhar. So around morning time, 8 something, I was just sitting in Gurdwara Sahib over there in my house, and I'm not meditating, just closed my eyes, and I got a proper vision like we see in TV video. I'm seeing Guruji is lying down and in a dress, and there are people sitting around him, and he didn't look good to me. And then in that same vision, I was shown a face which I had never seen earlier. So this was Tuesday morning, and we had planned to come to Empire State to have Guruji Darshan on Thursday as it is. We came back to Chandigarh, the stuff was packed. We were to move on Thursday morning. We got a call that Guruji is not well, he is hospitalized. So it was, of course, like everybody else, our whole world shook. But when I reached Baramandir, Guruji's body was lying there in that refrigerator. And when I went and sat near Guruji's body, in front of me was sitting that person whose face he had shown. And that person had never visited, in my presence, he had never visited Guruji before, and he was not part of Guru Sangat. Why I'm sharing the satsang is just to bring out the point that when he could show me his departure from this body 2 days earlier, it was all pre-planned. He knew everything. But the way it is projected to everybody else around us, it's like a normal human being who they're falling sick and going to ICU and all this. So this was all his leela. That's why he kept us, made us understand who he is, and same time he made us forget who he is. Otherwise, I think, I don't know. So now, when cremation was done, like Raul says in the book, we all went to Hardwar. My son Rocky, Indruj, normally is called Rocky in Guru Sangat, he was driving a Swift car, which was Gaurav's car, and I was driving my own car. Guruji's main ashes in that small lota was in the car with Sudha aunty and all, but the all other part of the cremation ashes, they put in a sack and they were in my car. So we were going, all of us. Then we are little fast drivers. So both of us, me and Rocky, my son, we were way ahead of the other convoy. Then he had to stop to answer nature's call. He stopped, and of course I stopped too. And then the car would not start. His car would not start. It was a new car, it was a new Swift that time. purchased 2007. So I also went had a look. It didn't start. Then somewhere a thought came ki I think we are ahead of the convoy. Guruji is making us wait. Once the convoy will come, it will start. And it happened like that. Convoy passed us, it started. So Guruji made sure that we don't break the convoy like he used to always do whenever we're traveling. He'll move with the convoy and then everybody will move together. So then when we were going to Hardwar, we got late. I think we forgot the way somewhere and all. We were appreciably late by a good 15, 20, maybe half an hour. The other Sangat, they all reached Ghat. They started doing the formalities for immersion. But as our car also had a sack full of parts of ashes and wood, you can say, whatever, that had to also be submerged. So they were waiting for us and we reached over there. So how he, otherwise, if we didn't have that in our car, maybe they would have thought that we got stuck somewhere. And as everyone was it was getting late in the evening, late in the night, people were concerned to come back to the houses, which is again a long drive back. So thing is, even at that time, how we kept the convoy together. And like Nikki was saying, immediately he was giving us assurance that I'm still with you. I'm still here. I'm not gone anywhere. And it's so right. He is still here with all of us. He's not gone anywhere. In Rahul's book ahead, which will come, page 62. So I'm sorry, I'm jumping to a page which is not part of session. He's mentioned Dharamkhand, Gyankhand, Saramkhand, Karamkhand, and Sachkhand. And he's written the meanings of that. But here I would like to share one small satsang with Guruji. I was sitting in Ambassador in his seva in his room. And Guruji spoke this line, and at the same time this line was running in my mind. Sach khand vase narankar, kar kar vekhe nadar neha. So that the last khand, Sach khand, is adobe of the Lord himself. So Guruji is saying ki Sach khand vase narankar, kar kar vekhe nadar neha. He was telling me कि मैं उत्थे बैठा आया थोड़े सारे ते मैं कृपा कर रहा हूं. I'm blessing you all sitting over there. So he has given, like Nikki said also, a lot of indications, lot of signs that he is supreme. We also understood, same time and not understood. In the book, we mention of Guruji going for walks and his shoes not getting dirty or remaining clean. They were not being touched by all that. So on one of the days, Guruji asked me, took us, me and my wife, Anu, near to airport. And closer to airport on some isolated road, he said, you stop here. It was night time. That he asked me to drive the car slowly with lights on. And Guruji and my wife Anu, they were walking. So I had to slowly show them light, and that was my duty. During that walk, after I think he almost done, suddenly he turns his leg and gets his feet, 1 foot up in the air. And he tells my wife to smell the sole of the shoe. And it was full of fragrance. Fragrance was oozing out. And of course, it was spotlessly clean. And another satsang, there was some construction work going on, repair work, I would say, at the main driveway of Mandir. And with some Sangat, Guruji went to see Mandir. Everybody walked from the side, and Guruji walked over. It was a wet cement still. He walked over it. There was no footmarks on that cement. and his shoes were not dirty. So all these were indicating that he is supreme. But then again, he would play his leela and be with you like friends. And the majority of his Sangat was well-to-do, highly educated, doctors. And Guruji used to say ਕਿ ਆਮ ਬੰਦਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਤਾਂ ਸੰਗਤ ਜਨਤਾ ਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਲਾ ਸਕਦਾ ਹੈ. I'm saying Punjabi because that's what I heard from him. Anybody can have common population follow them. तो कोई ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਲਾ ਸਕਦਾ ਹੈ. Then there were people who also thought and they asked Guruji ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅਮੀਰਾਂ ਨੂੰ bless ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ. Guruji said ਕਿ ਗਰੀਬਾਂ ਦੇ ਤਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਘਰ ਜਾ ਕੇ bless ਕਰਕੇ ਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ. ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੇ they have to also earn their living. So he had, like Rahul says in the book, he has come to bless everybody. For him, there was no bad and good. I clearly remember Guruji never said that this person is bad or this person is not good. Yes, he would say his stars, he would say, "Ye grah mare." His stars are at present not. So I am trying not to start onto my satsang. Like Raul has also said in his book, he's written, Guruji never preached. He, yes, with small Sangat group, used to joke a lot also, keep us all laughing. And same time, whenever he so wanted, he would share his wisdom with us. But he changed all our lives. Every Sangat who came to him, they were a different person after some time. People around them would tell them, "You're a different person." He never stopped people from eating non-veg or drinking, but that doesn't mean he approved it. Gradually, he would, if he wants, he can do anything with you. I share a small satsang which my mom, she came back from Pune. Her brother and all parents were in Pune. And there, while she was there, she visited Osho's ashram. Then on way back, Empire State, she came, Guruji was there, so she was having his darshan. So Guruji also asked her कि विकी दिक्कत क्या है. So she said कि मैं उसे गई सी आश्रम ते उथे लोग इधर like we all know Osho, people dance and they go into meditation. Then Guruji said कि ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ सब ਕਰਨ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ नहीं है. मैं तो ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਚੱਕ ਕੇ ਐਵੇਂ ਉੱਤੇ ਹੀ ਰੱਖ ਦਿੰਦਾ. So if God blesses you, he can do anything and everything. So I'll just see if I have anything else which I thought I will talk to you or share with all of you. Yes. During his satsangs at Jalandhar Mandir, Chandigarh, Empire State, like in the book it's written also, Rasik Bairagi, that is for Guru. But that is what he was trying to make his Sangat also. He did not want his Sangat to listen to Shabads all the time. So if you notice in his Darbar, before Langar used to be only Shabads, and after Langar, it would be Sufi song, it would be Punjabi folk song, anything. And then once in Empire State, he sat in my car and was going to, there was men's saloon where he used to go for his shaving and all that. So he said, "Chal apni car le aa." He sat inside with my wife sitting with him in the back seat. He said, "Play some songs." And in my car, all the cassettes were from Shabads. Then he said कि हर वेले शब्द नहीं सुनने. So of course then his car and his driver Dharamchand. Then I went and I asked him which all songs Guruji listens. So I got those cassettes to it. The main thing is he kept that balance. And now it is for us also, because even during when he was in Empire State, back at Jalandhar Mandir, I won't name, but there was a Sevadar who went too much into part and he lost his balance. So he kept us in this world and he used to say कि ये ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਰੱਬ ਨੇ ਪੈਸਾ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਹੈ, ਉਹਨੂੰ enjoy ਕਰੋ but ਅਹੰਕਾਰ ਨਾ ਕਰੋ. If God has blessed you with wealth, you enjoy, but don't feel proud or don't show off, like. Otherwise, I think I am, because I don't want to start going into doing satsangs. If I start doing satsangs, there is no end to it. We are here for a specific purpose, to share insight into the book, lovely book which Rahul has written. And really, it is a very nice thing. He's opened up for a lot of Sangat, he's opened up their views, their vision, that they can think Guruji beyond just being a miracle man. So I think I would end with that. And thanks a lot for giving this opportunity. Thank you, Guruji. Thank you, Sangat. Jai Guruji.
I think Rahul uncle will probably do some inputs. He'll give his reactions.
Yeah, Jai Guruji.
Jai Guruji. Jai Guruji uncle. Jai Guruji.
At the outset, I'll thank the multilingual satsang team, and specifically Nikki and Ravi Rai, who have done exceedingly well today in the today's session. Particularly what I like that Nikki summarized the book without reading the book. I was just looking at what she was saying, and I found from page to page, I was looking to the book, and she did exceedingly well. She summarized well without digressing anything from the book, not putting big. I know she's having a repository of satsangs, particularly pertaining to Empire State and Baramandir, but she kept it for another day. That's good on her part, because the focus is today the book reading and book analysis. That's what impressed me quite that her interpretation, which is also part of the intention of the author, that all this what Guruji was doing in Empire State and Baramandir is reaching out large sections of people. That is where Ravi was saying, when people say Guruji was only he was blessing, or only the rich and powerful people were coming to him. There is a purpose behind it. As Ravi and Nikki, both of them, they said, if you catch hold of the top man, if you can make him understand, bring to the spiritual path, then a lot of people also follow. So that's why Delhi was also for that purpose. He shifted from Jalandhar, Chandigarh, that's the state capital of 3 states, and then he shifted to Delhi. Delhi was the national capital. So the importance of Delhi already we have discussed earlier, but it is again not without purpose that we can again go back to what Mirza Ghalib told about Delhi. So it is. Yeah. एक रोज अपनी रूह से पूछा कि दिल्ली क्या है, तो यूं जवाब में कह गई, ये दुनिया मानो जिस्म है और दिल्ली उसकी जान है. It's not only the heart of the country, it's the heart of the world. A lot of civilizational happenings has happened in Delhi. So Guruji chose this place, and as it has been aptly told by Nikki and Ravi, that once you choose a place which has a lot of significance, a lot of importance, and you choose the people who are at the top, who are powerful, then it sets an example to the rest of the people. That's why they say that whatever Guruji does, wherever Guruji has gone, which place he has chosen, it has a purpose. Then both of them, quoting the book and the satsangs, they have said that small incidents which has happened and people have observed tells a lot of things about Guruji. Like the no dot on his shoe. When he walks on a dirt track or on the, you can say, the cement which has been freshly laid, if nothing is there, that time it is not immediately that we people elevate him to that that he is avatar of Lord Shiva. We feel okay, that something as strange is happening. Sometimes as we apply our intelligence, discuss the issue, but it is when you combine all these small insights together, then you will find what is the beauty of Guruji and who he was. In the book, we have tried to find out such incidents here and there, not in this chapter only, but rest of the chapters also, to bring out the essence of Guruji through these satsangs, small satsangs, and try to analyze a little bit with our limited understanding and perception, with Guruji's blessing, what we can say about Guruji. Particularly when Guruji was in his physical form, he never gave the impression that he is such an elevated soul all the time. He will give the small incidents we find, we'll find, oh, definitely he's somebody quite extraordinary. He has the supernatural powers. But next moment, Guruji himself will behave like as if he is like you, like an ordinary man. That is why when Ravi quoted what Nitin Rai has said, Nitin Joshi has said, I will read again. Humanity does not come across highly spiritual sages, avatars, or Puran gurus quite often. Even if there is one, very few people recognize him or her as an enlightened soul. As Nitin Joshi, a devotee of Guruji, says, now quotation starts. If you could penetrate the worldly facade he presents, if your gaze can see beyond to him, then you shall be blessed with an all-encompassing shelter. Guruji's mannerism and speech are such that they make us believe that he is just like us. Actually, they are part of the facade. Until the gravity of what he says sinks in, it takes a while for that understanding to develop. And it is now taking time to people realize who Guruji was. So this is the last session of the first chapter. We call it the journey of the Mahapurush. Though we have started with a degree and we finished at Maha Samadhi, this is a temporal journey. It is not the journey of the avatar or the, you can say, Lord Shiva. This is the temporal journey. There is no end. There is no beginning of such Mahapurush. In this life, he came in this temporal life. He performed his leelas, his modes, blessed people, but we should not take that it is an ordinary life like any ordinary biography other people write, that this is the beginning of the person and this is the end of the person. That is not the intention of the chapter. The chapter is just a journey. We say it is a journey of the Mahapurush. The Mahapurush might have taken many journeys. This is one life journey where we are blessed to be part of his Sangat. Now, if you the places he visited and the places he stayed, we have described in this chapter. It has been from the second session onwards to the fifth session. Various readers, they have analyzed, and it has been aptly said by previous readers also, like Arup Mitra, and we have quoted it subsequently, that there is a purpose why Guruji choose a particular place, whether Empire State or Delhi or Baramandir, Chandigarh, Jalandhar, etc. Now you transpose yourself, other avatars of God. Take the case of Lord Rama or Lord Krishna. In case of Lord Ram, you can find the places like Ayodhya, then you can have like Dandakarena forest, Chitrakoot, and Rameshwaram. In case of Lord Krishna, you find Mathura, Vrindavan, Dwaraka, then Kurukshetra, Indraprastha, that is Delhi. So, are those avatars or the Mahapurush, you can tell Guruji, confined to the places he visited? What about the rest of the places? So let us analyze, let us place. If he came, he had a purpose. There is some connection. There is a spiritual connection. There may be a temporal connection, like he once blessed some people. Even I have said that in a case of Delhi, he wanted to bless the wounded civilizational psyche of the place, like Delhi. Like it has been said, there are 7 Delhis, and there are a lot of turmoil, a lot of killings, a lot of wars and battles have taken place in Delhi. So a lot of, you can say, souls, they need blessings. But the avatars, the Mahapurush, they are for the entire universe. It is just an example. Like in Gita, Lord Krishna says, whenever there is a predominance of adharma, then I take a birth to establish the principles of dharma. So they have to be in certain places, and say they have to meet certain people. They have to take a birth in a particular parentage and village, but they are beyond those confines. They are a part of the universe, and they are the super soul themselves, the super consciousness. Only to set example, they be at a particular place, or they meet a particular group of people, and the rest of the people, it is an example to follow. So this is how I can summarize the discussions of the first chapter and discussions of today. Again, I thank Vasan uncle and all uh, Madam Asha Mehra, who started conducting this session today, Nikki and Ravi for doing excellent work today, and also the Sangat who are participating today. Jai Guruji.
Thank you, Uncle. Thank you, Rahul, Uncle, for analyzing and briefly recapitulating what you have already mentioned in the book and elsewhere. I'd like to add a little bit more to say that he not only he did not confine himself to Delhi and Chandigarh and this area, but the whole world. Similarly, he not only confined himself to the elite, the so-called educated class, which normally takes a little longer time to get down to such avatars, to get down to such teachings, rather than the lesser educated people. So he got on to these people, and as you said, that will follow on to the youngsters and their followers. Similarly, he also took over to the rich, but to remove their ahankars and to bring them in line with the other common man. He tried to take them in their fold a lot more than the poorer people. Another thing I thought was, in no other sant or a preacher or a holy man has taken the youngsters in their fold. Mostly, you will notice that people of past middle age turn to spirituality, to bhajans, to doing good, etc. But in Guruji's case, he took over to youngsters. And that is so important. The youngsters being taught on the right path. Do good to everybody. Everybody is your parivar. Help everybody possible. Love, compassion. These qualities he instilled in the younger Sangat. And this Sangat, younger Sangat is joining much faster and much larger numbers than one would imagine. I think that is the best, that is the largest gain that we have. Because while we were there, when Guruji was in physical form, there were so many incidents where we would know that he is antaryami. We can in any number of incidents to show that he knows what you are doing at home, how much money is in your purse, which clothes, dress you wanted to wear before coming, and why you changed to another one, and so on. There are so many incidents to show that he is antaryami. He knows what is happening in your house, how are you behaving with others when not before him. That itself makes us know we have to do good, no chugli. We have to be nice. We have to show compassion to the people who need love, and that ultimately helps us to be a good human being. If we are able to follow all that and spread it, especially with the youngsters, it's a lot good done, especially in these days when there is each one for oneself. That concept of parivar is very, very important. Earlier we used to have the joint family system. That is now almost gone in metros, but this parivar element is now taking over. That is a very big gain we have. And Guruji always said that while doing your work, think of me. Think of me even when you're applying lipstick. Think of me when you. So the idea was to carry on your work, be happy, do good, listen to Shabad, listen to film songs, folk songs, but keep in mind the Lord above. So that is a very, very big gain all of us have had. And I think this, by spreading it to the parivar, we are only making it happen the way he wants it. I do hope and pray that Guru gives us that Shakti and that Buddhi to make sure that we live the life the way he wanted us to. Vasan uncle, I think we can finish it here.
जी आंटी,
We can say Shukrana. Have you exceeded the time?
जी आंटी, धन धन गुरुजी महाराज, मल्टीलिंगुअल सेवादार टीम की तरफ से आज जो भी पार्टिसिपेंट्स थे, निक्की मल्होत्रा आंटी, रवि अंकल, छबिलेंद्र राव अंकल, आशा मेहरा आंटी, आप सबका मल्टीलिंगुअल सेवादार टीम की तरफ से बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। गुरु महाराज की कृपा हम सब पर बने रहे। इसी के साथ ही अब हम सब महाराज से आज्ञा लेंगे।